like, no wonder these always come out on Mondays.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Adam, Rob, and we're back with another Thirsty Thursdays, and listen to this. Oh man, I can finally say things like, Sally sells seashells by the seashore. I can also say, I saw Susie in a shoe shine store. And I can also say, of all the vids you've ever viewed, you've never viewed a vid as awesome as Thirsty Thursdays. Yes, I finally got my bite plane taken out, which, thank the good Lord, because that has been the most annoying thing. I really sympathize with everybody that has to deal with some kind of speech impediment or a lisp. And I just want to talk about the word lisp. I think it's such a terrible word for somebody that can't say lisp. That's pretty terrible to do that to a person. I don't know who came up with that word, but they should be in jail. Also, did you know that the word for the fear of long words is actually a pretty big word? I'll put it up here. Who thought of that? I think it's cruel. I think it's unusual. And I'm pretty sure cruel and unusual punishment is illegal in America. Last time I checked. Anyways, got a couple updates. This is going to be a jam-packed episode. Well, yeah, one, got that bite plane out. I can talk normal again, which is great. I'm so excited to announce a couple things. One, I found, finally, Devil's Backbone. I found their beer. You know, we've been talking about it for a while, and as of today, they haven't picked a chief hiking officer, so there's still hope for our boy, Ethan Amarine, to hopefully get that position. I'm not giving up hope until it's written on the internet. So, I went up to, actually an orthodontist appointment, and I picked up one of these bad boys at 101 Bottles in Kent. That place is awesome, by the way. We got a little Vienna lager here, and I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that I have found the Vienna lager. The bad news is I came down with something called gout, which is a terrible word. I don't know if you can tell. Probably not. But this thumb has been swollen and just hurting for the last like month or so. And I have been starting to like DJ more weddings, so I was like, maybe I'm just carrying heavy stuff a lot and I like sprained it or overextended it. So I had to go and get a blood test, an x-ray and all that fun stuff. They said that my uric acid levels are pretty high, which means that the joints, it's like a form of arthritis, I guess, the gout. That's such a terrible word. Why would you name it? The gout. Like, horrible. This thumb, basically the uric acid is like surrounding my joint and kind of inflaming my entire thumb. So it's a bummer. Probably caused from one beer, you know, Thirsty Thursdays. 2 energy drinks. I've been drinking a ton of those and they're bad, but you know, dude, I don't know what it is about Bang Energy. I always thought it was stupid, but I've been drinking them and they're really good and they help me kind of stay awake while I'm driving at Domino's. So gonna have to cut a lot of things out of my diet, so this is actually gonna be my last beer for a little while, just until, you know, maybe this thing is gone. I got some nice little steroids to take. I'm actually gonna give the rest of this 6-pack to my boy Ethan. You know, help the boy out, give him a little something. Just thought I'd let you guys know little updates about my medical experiences. And yeah, I always have like these weird little tiny things I'm never really like majorly hurt, but there's always like these little weird annoying things. I don't know, just my life. So let's pop this guy open. Oh, I botched that one. Enjoy my last beer for a little while. Let's see if I can get a good pour. Gotta have a good pour if this is gonna be my last one for a minute. Oh man. Yeah, dude. Okay. Finally did a half decent pour. Cheers to you guys. I'm gonna miss that. Dang. It's so sad because it's so good. Ethan, you better enjoy this, man. Savor every drop. Very caramely. Got a lot of that like rich, dark caramel notes, but it's not like a dark beer, obviously. It's so good that I'm gonna have to get this again. Kind of got like a little fruitiness to it as well, like something towards the end, there's kind of like a, maybe like an apricots.
Apricots!
Anyways, so I also got some exciting news. As many of you guys know, my company is called All Circles Enterprises. I DJ through All Circles Entertainment. So over the pandemic, I've kind of learned that I need to kind of diversify what I'm doing. And I've been working on something called All Circles Media, which is going to be a separate YouTube channel apart from my, Adam Rob one. And we've been working on some videos. I have a couple editors that I'm going to be working with. Me and my buddy Carson have been looking for kind of like an office / studio space to work out of. And we've been searching for pretty much before the pandemic. We were like, we should find a place to work. A lot of places have opened up and we've been able to find some really cool places, and some places were a little shady, some places a little better. And we almost moved into one, but then it was just there was a whole situation there. I found on Craigslist, of all places, this awesome place. It's in Belden Village, which is in Canton. It's a big hub. There's a lot of restaurants and it's a very busy area, which is perfect. It's a building that's owned by a CPA. So this CPA guy works out of half of it. It's kind of an interesting layout. You walk in, it has a garage on the side. You walk in, it's a big room. We're gonna put all of our DJ equipment in there and we can easily roll it out. There's no steps or anything, which is perfect. We can get into the building anytime we want, which is something we were looking for. The one that we're at now, it's just a storage unit. It's super dark. There's no lighting in the actual unit, so we can't see what we're doing. So I bring a lantern with me whenever I need to pack my equipment. It's a big room, and then you walk down some steps. There's a room off to the side with a cool mirrored ceiling, which is kind of interesting. But we're gonna turn it into a podcast room. There's a office with a fireplace, which is pretty dope, and some built-in desks. And there's a big room with this huge table in the middle. It has a kitchenette. It has a shower, which there's little things that I get excited about. And being able to drop off my equipment and then take a shower after a wedding is a godsend, because after a wedding, tearing down everything, especially in the summer, it gets hot, it gets sweaty. So I'm excited for that. It's the little things, I'm excited to be moving into there October 1st. I'll probably be doing some vlogs about it and stuff, so keep a lookout for that. Also, in the vlogging world, our boy Casey Neistat has been posting a vlog every day for the last 5 or 6 days, I think. And is he gonna be, back on that vlog life? Who's to say? We never know. But so far they've been pretty fun. Just little small. I don't think any of them have been over 10 minutes. They're just little quick videos. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he does with those. I know, it's definitely beneficial to take a break, especially when you move your family across the country and then all of a sudden you're slammed with a pandemic in the middle of Los Angeles and the sky is orange because the whole forest is on fire. And man, I can imagine just the craziness that California is right now. He's been back into that daily vlog, hopefully, we'll see, which would be awesome. Also, another great YouTuber, Matty Hapoya. I've talked about him on the channel before. Took the last 3 weeks off. His wife had a baby. Her name's Coco. She's adorable. And he's back on the vlog life, back in the office and all that, and took some well-deserved time off to spend time with family, all that fun stuff. So I'm excited. There's a lot of cool vlog stuff going on. Cody Warner has also been getting back into the vlogs. I think maybe making a daily vlog is something that I should do. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna do the Ethan. Anyways,
I don't know.
But I don't know. Maybe. Oh man, Ethan, you better watch these, bro. Also, GoPro released their GoPro Hero 9, which finally has a front-facing screen. It took them a long time to do that. I use the DJI Osmo Action. I love that thing, and I love it specifically because it has that front-facing screen where you can see yourself and you can kind of figure out where the framing is and make sure that you're not pointing it at the ceiling or something stupid. So the video that they shot for it was really cool. So I don't know. I might get one just to try it out. At the moment, I'm kind of trying to save my money. I just dropped a whole bunch of money on podcasting equipment. I also bought good old 6 terabyte to start out, filling this bad boy up with content. And the All Circles Media channel, I'm still kind of in the works on what exactly it's going to be. At the moment, we have a couple videos. I want to focus on creative type videos, like people that are creative, that are doing creative work, but I also want to focus on just interesting things. So I'm actually meeting somebody in a couple hours. She lives up in Kent. And she's wanting to recreate the red paperclip experiment. So a while ago, I forget what year, this guy traded a tiny red paperclip up to a house over like the span of like 6 years, I think. And so she started with a bobby pin.
It's a bobby pin.
It keeps your hair back.
You need Bobby's pins to put your hair up?
It's bobby pins, not Bobby's pins.
Little bobby pin. So she traded it for a salt lamp yesterday, and I told her I'd trade her for a guitar. And I asked her, I was like, hey, I found it on Facebook Marketplaces, which is kind of funny. I've been looking for camera stuff on there. I asked her, I was like, hey, like, you know, I'm starting this new channel on YouTube, and would you be interested in maybe doing a video? And she was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. We'll kind of put that together, see how far she gets, see what kind of stuff, like how big she can get it, and you never know. Maybe she'll end up with a telescope, and then trade it for some beans.
I started with a thumbtack and traded my way to a telescope. But in a way, the most valuable thing here wasn't the telescope at all. No, it was this packet of beans. So I traded the telescope for it. And I can just go buy another telescope.
Anyways. Also, Apple had a September event this week, and a lot of people were wondering if this is going to be where they unveil the new iPhone, which they didn't do. What they did was kind of a Apple Watch and iPad refresh. Their production value was phenomenal. Everybody, that was like the one takeaway from that video, was that since they're not doing it in front of a live audience anymore, their videos have been like pretty good. So they released the Apple Watch Series 6, which can now take a blood oxygen reading, which is something that everybody knew was going to be capable at some point, and they finally put it in there, which is going to help a ton of people that have to monitor that on a daily or a weekly basis. You have to do the finger prick, and this is just a way to kind of mitigate all that and to make it simple and easy for them to use. And you can kind of stay up to date if your blood oxygen level is getting out of whack. It'll send you a notification. So they're pretty cool stuff with that. They're also releasing the Apple Watch SE, which is a cheaper version. I think it comes in at $279, and it still packs a lot of features. It doesn't come with the blood oxygen capability, but for a lot of people that haven't gotten an Apple Watch, that want to get into that ecosystem, it's a good entry level product. I don't have an Apple Watch. Maybe I'll get one, probably like Christmas. I'll see. Mom, if you're watching this, I'll take a black one. Anyways, they also launched a subscription called Fitness Plus, which is more of like a competitor to Peloton. And you'll be able to kind of sync it with your watch, and it'll give you encouragement and time your workouts, and get your heart rate up to where it needs to be. Seems pretty interesting. I think it's like $10 a month. They also are introducing something called Apple One, which is a way to kind of bundle your subscriptions through Apple. So if you have like Apple TV, Apple Music, or the new Fitness Plus, you can kind of bundle them in. So, but it was funny because they were like, it's going to be one subscription for everything. Comes with 3 options. And you're like, is it really 1 or is it 3? Come on, dude. There was a refresh to the regular iPad. iPad Air got a huge refresh, and some people were wondering, like, is this like more powerful than like an iPad Pro now? And it had a lot of features, and the feature that I really liked that kind of stood out to me was that they turned the top button, so pretend this is an iPad, they turned the top button into a fingerprint reader, which blew my mind. That gives me hope, because I've kept the iPhone 8 Plus for so long, and I love the home button. I like being able to open it without having to like put my face up. Kind of been holding out for when they put 5G in the phone. I think that is, if I'm gonna buy a $1,000 plus iPhone, I'm gonna wait till it's like kind of future proof, I think. And so far, I mean, the iPhone 8 Plus, like, it's doing the job. I don't know why there's such a need to constantly update your phone every year. I know it makes sense on a business level, but for me personally, I'll do just fine with what I got. until it breaks or stops working. I usually run things until I need to replace them. So that's kind of what's going on. iOS 14 update was being rolled out. My wife, she got it. Me, it's not showing up. Not on my iPad, not on my phone. Pretty salty about it, but you know, I'll wait. I'll be patient. I can be patient. It's like they hate me or something. Anyways, we also had in a little bit of news, we had Marquez Brownlee interviewing Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg. And it's pretty funny that you have to say this, but he looked and acted more human than he has ever before. Which is so funny. Like I don't know what it is about him, but he's got this like weird robotic otherworldly feeling about him. Whenever you see him in a video, especially when he was in front of Congress a couple years ago, he just has such a weird robotic demeanor. I don't know, it's very awkward. It's very like that's how he drank beer, if he would drink beer. It was actually a pretty good interview. They talked about Oculus and kind of the future of augmented reality, and it was really cool seeing him talk about like his thought process behind that. Yeah, there are problems with Facebook, but there's a lot of stuff that, especially with this upcoming election, that Facebook is still navigating those waters of like, what's too much, where do we limit certain types of video, like ads and stuff like that. So I feel like you should talk about that rather than Oculus, but whatever, that's just me. Another interesting thing that's happening with the internet, Kanye West back in the news. He has been on a Twitter rant for like a week now, and every day he's just been posting and like, I actually unfollowed him for a second just because it was taking up my feed so much, and so I went through it and kind of saw what he was talking about. He was talking largely about record deals and how they're, quote, modern day slavery. You know, I don't think this is a big secret at all. I know, you know, with Frank Ocean, even Taylor Swift fighting for her masters a couple years ago. It's been an open secret that these record labels and these record companies, they are notorious for using and abusing their artists, making these crazy contracts that lock them in for a certain amount of albums or a certain amount of years where they have to provide, and they don't actually get to retain a lot of their masters, which are kind of the way that you can make money on your music. And so it leaves a lot of these artists signing terrible deals. They get exposure, but once they get to a certain level where they should be making a ton of money from their music itself, they find that they're in these terrible contracts. They're kind of stuck now, and they're like, what do I do? I can't, there's no way to break out of these contracts unless you fulfill the stipulations in the contract. A lot of people make their money from touring, from merch, from maybe music videos, but probably not that much. Especially like times like this where, you know, nobody's touring. It's a pandemic. There's no money to be made in live shows at the moment, so it leaves a lot of artists very vulnerable. So Kanye was kind of talking about that, and he was posting screenshots of his, I'll call it alleged contracts. He kind of invited any lawyer to take a look at it. He was like, lawyers of Twitter, figure this out. And then he also did a video of himself peeing on his Grammy, or one of his Grammys. That was pretty funny. But I don't know. People always do weird stuff with their Grammys. I don't know. Like Drake was drinking out of it. Kanye's pissing on it. So it's 2020. Why not? You know, why not? Speaking of Taylor Swift, at the Academy of Country Music Awards, she performed Betty, and kind of getting back to her roots, her country roots. And it was a really awesome performance. Every time I talk about Kanye on this, I have to talk about Taylor Swift. You know, just keep it even. You know, keep it even. Yeah, I've actually been bumping that Lover album by Taylor Swift. She's got a lot of good songs on that album. It's really good. My last story is pretty funny. So, Logan Paul, the Paul brothers, they're, you know, people love them, people hate them. Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul are set for an exhibition match sometime later this year. Logan Paul, he had his thing with KSI. He was training to box. But I don't know, man. Floyd Mayweather, he's been in this for a long time. Like, I don't think Logan Paul stands a chance. I'll give him a few minutes, maybe a couple rounds, but I don't think he's gonna last that long. So we shall see. I don't know much about boxing or any sports, to be frank. I don't know. R.I.P. to Logan Paul, I guess. Am I right? No, I think he'll hold his own for a little while, and then it's Floyd Mayweather. I don't know how far you think you're gonna get. I don't know. He's looking pretty ripped. We'll see. It should be a big show. Probably a lot of money involved. Why not? 2020, people need distractions. They're happy to give it to them. Alright, this is enough for me for today. Thirsty Thursday is episode 13. I hope you guys enjoyed the Ethan Amarine episodes. Those took a lot. We recorded like almost 2.5 hours of footage, so that was, man, that took forever to go through and make edits and all that. Yeah, but I'll be back. I'm trying to do these every week, get back into it. Let's hope that Ethan gets that chief hiking officer position. There's still hope. And so Devil's Backbone, you guys make great beer. Sorry I can't drink the rest of these, but I think my boy Ethan is going to enjoy this. Until next week, cheers. Alright, so I forgot. Usually I do like a plug for like a podcast at the end of my Thirsty Thursday videos, and I forgot to do that. So I wanted to highlight a new podcast. It's called Like a New Day. If you're into film photography, I've been getting into film photography like a lot lately. Leica is like the most expensive of like film cameras. They can go anywhere from like a couple $1,000s to like almost $10,000. They're kind of like a cult camera, and so I've been following some podcasts, and this guy, he started a podcast just about Leica, and I left a review. And he actually read my review on the last episode. So I was kind of like listening to it. And he was like, I'd like to thank Adam Robb. And I was like, that's me. Well, so I'll play a second of it.
I got a comment here from user Adam Robb. He says, I usually shoot on a Canon EOS R, but I've recently started shooting film over the last few months after I found a Yashica TL Electro X at a country thrift store. Good for you, Adam. That's awesome. I have been going down the rabbit hole of film podcasts, and especially Leica content, and there aren't too many podcasts out there specifically talking about Leica. I like the way that Zachary talks about photography. He truly has a passion for it, and he ties in how we can use photography as an outlet to help with depression, anxiety, etc. I haven't heard much from the photo community about these topics. I also like how he talks about Leica and what the brand means to him. Cameras are tools, but there are certain brands we identify with, and there is something to the kind of tool you enjoy using that makes you want to go out and use it. I hope to have a Leica M6 one day. If Zachary does start a funder program to help people get a Leica camera, I'd love to sign up. LOL. This is a great podcast, man. Keep them coming. That was awesome. Thank you, Adam. I read that because, well, first of all, humble brag. Second of all, it just makes me feel good. Sometimes.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty funny. So, Like a New Day, go check him out. He read my review, so I thought I'd give him a little shout out in here. I don't have too many people at the moment, but you know, little by little, you build it up. So. Yeah, Like a New Day. It's got about 8 episodes, so check it out if you are into film photography. You know, it's worth a listen. So